Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent. I was a teaching instructor while I was there. I've worked thousands of IRS cases. I wrote a book, by the way, called Exposing the Settlement Secrets for IRS. A lot of people just cannot pay their tax debt, and they're afraid to call IRS. They don't know when IRS is going to levy. They don't know when they're going to lien, so you're stuck in this little frozen period, like, oh my God, I don't know what's going to happen. When do I call them? I'm afraid to call them. And should you be afraid to call them? So let me just sort some of that out. Well, don't call IRS unless you know what's going on. If you know what's going on, you can call them. It's that simple. What I find happening is people call me after they've gotten in trouble. They called IRS. Now they can't get out of their own quicksand that they made for themselves. So you can call IRS as long as you know what IRS is going to do. So just let me tell you the process of what IRS does once you make that call to them, so you understand what's going to be on the other end of that phone. You have to know that. The agent on the other end of the phone usually is the IRS calls it customer service. Okay, their customer service agents are agents, and they're trained to close the cases. So when you call IRS, they go ahead and they pull your account up on their screen. You can't see their screen. They're really lengthy information that you don't have access to. Even if you pulled an IRS transcript, you don't have all the information they do. So what they're checking on really are all tax returns filed. It's one of the things they're doing. The other thing they're doing is checking is your withholding and Social Security up to date. Your W-2, W-4s. That's working in concert with others. And if you're self-employed and you're not making your estimate payments, they're just going to jump all over your butt. They're going to jump your butt on two things: unfiled returns and not making estimate payments. They are going to drill down, and it's going to be a bad day if you're not doing that, because they're not going to believe you're going to do it. That's why you shouldn't call them by yourself. You should have this set up prior to the phone call being made. Now, once you get past this, IRS is going to pull up their version of the financial statement. They'll ask you questions. What financial statement is it? It's the 433F. Download it, look at it. Just a couple page form, but it has all the information on you that they want. Basically, they want to know what your assets, they want to know what your income and expenses are. That's what they're looking for. They're going to make a determination on you based on your income, and your expenses, income and expenses. They want to know if you have any money left over to pay them, according to them, not according to you. Everyone calls IRS as, well, I don't really have much left over, but IRS doesn't let you guide their rules, how they act in your case. So IRS put them on all over the internet. They're called the IRS National Standard Program, and you should pull those up. Whether you're going to be put in hardship, do a payment agreement, or do an offer and compromise, like this IRS settlement, blah, 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 they're going to use those standards. They're going to use those standards to go ahead and justify what they're going to do. So when they look at your financial statement, usually when you get off the phone, they may ask for more documentation. They may ask for one or two things. Your case is either going to go into uncollectible hardship, it's going to go into a payment agreement, could be good or bad, or you may be able to, they may say, hey, file an offer and compromise. So that person, their job is to be the guide to close your case. They have an outstanding balance on you. That case can go into their inventory for that moment, and their job and their notes determine what IRS is going to do. And you better listen to their follow-up dates, because if you don't meet their follow-up dates, the computer automatically triggers what's going to happen. So it's really important that you follow up on dates that they give you. And if they ask you to send stuff, make sure it gets sent certified, so you always have a record of that. If you have a large debt, you should be turning this over to somebody else. If you don't have a lot, don't be afraid to work these cases by yourself. The IRS is not going to bite. You have to go ahead and answer the bell here. You really do. And so, yeah. Search around for whatever information, but just make sure you understand that financial statement dictates everything. Anyway, thank you very much. I appreciate you listening. If you have a large debt, you're welcome to call. If you have a question, you can email me or send me a text. Thank you so very, very much. I appreciate speaking to you Give me a subscription, that always helps me. And now you know the IRS process when you pick up the phone. And by the way, I hope you're still listening. Some of the agents on the other end of the phone are nasty, and some of them are really nice. Generally, when's the best time to call? Well, the mornings are usually good and after lunch because they're happy. I want you to think of happy times at work, or maybe right before they leave. Thank you very much for listening.